Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request from DarkMetalSpider. Thank you so much for that, for their generosity. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Patreon and CashApp. People have asked about them. Links are down below in the info box. Feel free, I'll get to them as soon as I can. And the title of the poster, you know what movie this is. You know what kind of movie this is. It's a whopping 1.6 out of 10 in IMDb. This is an anthology film, so there's 8 directors, including Tim Ritter, Donald Farmer, Blair, Kelly, Johnny Williams, or Jerry Williams. I don't give a shit what their names are. Douchebag 1, Dumbass 2, Idiot 3, Moron 4, Dickwad 5. This is one of those films that, of course, is trying to purposely be as bad as it can be for the entertainment. And some people, like DarkMetalSpider, enjoy that. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I've seen Catnado once. I thought it sucked. I didn't bother to see the sequels because I figured they will suck. One of these folks made Sharks of the Corn, where it's about sharks in a cornfield. Like, they do these no-budget movies with god-awful acting and horrendous production value and amateur, cheap, stupid special effects because they feel, well, if we do that on purpose, people will laugh. And some will. There's an audience for that, I'm sure. If I look at a film that's so bad it's good, it's because, for the most part, they did it unintentionally. Samurai Cop, Troll 2, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. What was it? I had it in my top of my head. Don't Go in the Woods. But because they didn't try to do it intentionally, there's a bit of a charm to it where, like, they really meant well, but it came off that way, and it kind of that weird alchemy makes it much more fun. I always talk about, imagine it's a snowy, icy sidewalk. Someone accidentally slips and falls, you may laugh. Now you feel bad, but you laugh. Or some people laugh. But if that person stopped, and then purposely slips on it, then you're like, well, that's just stupid. That's just dumb. And that's kind of the case here. It just, instead of creating comedy for me, I'm just, that's just stupid. That's just dumb. And also a bit insulting in the fact of, you know, there's so many other people that write scripts that are a bit more original or have a bit more talent or try a bit harder and trying to make a good film and trying to have good intentions and trying to get a decent film made. There's so many scripts and potential ideas that never get formed because they don't have the financing or they don't know the right people or they didn't suck the right dick. But a film like this gets made and actually has a DVD release. And like that, I mean, that has a DVD release. You can buy that on a physical DVD that's being sold on Amazon. It's on, you know, streaming platforms. Because of the title, just people, again, they look at how stupid that sounds and they see it out of curiosity. And what I saw was a god-awful film that probably is one of the worst films I've ever seen. Now, I've seen a lot of bad films. I don't know where it would be on the list, but I think somewhere this would be on the list. Because it's so incompetently made, but then they just say that incompetence is meant to be on purpose, because that's another thing. If you're a crappy director or a crappy writer, the easy way to get out of that, like it's a get out of jail free card, is to say, well, I meant to do that on purpose. It's meant to be bad on purpose. I meant to have these mistakes. I meant to screw up. I meant to be horrible, because that's the joke. See how bad it is? No, you're just hiding how bad you truly are. Sorry, my damn bat is killing me, so I apologize for the movement. But from the very beginning, 40 seconds in, where some woman is in front of a door, and I hear, why is someone stomping their feet? It sounds like, I'm not going to do it, but, you know, if someone's like, or, let me do it. Like someone stomping their feet around. I guess that's meant to mimic the Catnado. Cats made, you know, a tornado made of cats. I mean, there's so many of these type of films. There's, of course, Sharknado, which got like 5-6 movies. There's Clownado. Yes, there's a film where the tornadoes are made of clowns. So they have Catnado. It's, you know, Sharktopus versus Mega Oculus, whatever the fuck it's called. Blind Bees versus Killer Dwarfs. There's enough stupid shit out there. We don't need more. And by the way, the lady, even though it's supposed to be, I'm going to say tornado, but this is a Catnado, she sounds bored. And then also, who's she talking to? Because she's talking right to the camera. There's these things called Catnados. And blah, blah. I'm like, who the hell are you talking to? But I guess this is a way to introduce all these stories that the similarity is cats or a Catnado is involved. So you have, after that, random footage of Halloween decorations and people, which I guarantee you they didn't ask them to be on film, with a farting soundtrack. Filming random Halloween decorations. Not that it matters this takes place on Halloween, because it doesn't have any effect on anything at all for the rest of these stories. It's like, hey, it's Halloween, just film some shit. It'll help with the running time. So then it cuts to everybody in here is a bad actor, terrible actor. Hell, I could act as shitty as they do. Cast me in a movie if that's the case. Please, cast me in a movie. I can act as shitty as they can, so I can belong in this group. Hire me. So a guy is with his wife, and he's like, yeah, I won't take me to this place, this Alaskan cruise. It does seem like he screwed up the line, because he said, it won't let me take this, book this Alaskan cruise. So it's like he meant to say, this won't let me book it, but he said, it won't let me take this, oh shit, I screwed up, book this, and they didn't want a second take. Yeah, just throw it in there. And that's the acting. Want me take this, book this Alaskan cruise. Man, you piece of shit. You don't know what you're doing. And it was throw stuff like, for a transition between scenes, I'll show a random cat hissing. Just because Catnado's in the title. So the lady goes out to pick up her ex-boyfriend, because she's like, I'm going to leave you. I'm like, well, that guy survived, so the joke's on you, lady. Picks up her ex-boyfriend, who's this biker-looking guy. Nobody can act for shit. And the guy talks about, there's a way to find this money, and this woman has this money, and we go into her place, we get this money, and oh man, I heard some weird stuff in prison, like this guy's girlfriend was killed by a shark in the corn. I'm like, yeah, in Kentucky, it's called Shorts of the Corn, because one of the people who made this, I think it's Tim Ritter, had a hand in making that piece of shit. So they rob the woman, and the woman slowly puts her hand around the other woman's neck to not hurt her, and the guy's like, ugh. It's like, because he doesn't want to hurt the lady for real. It's like, and so they take her stuff. They don't break her into her place, but a Catnado appears, which is the same Adobe Premiere effects each time. That probably took someone a weekend to do. And throughout, like, the woman's trying to make it seem like she's being blown away, but like she can't quite do it, so the camera's trying to shake. And a cat gets on the biker looking dude. When the Catnado leaves, he gives birth to a cat. And I swear to God, they stole the sound effects from Alien. When the chest bursts through, there's that squeal. I can't replicate it, but if you watch Alien, when it bursts out, there's this squeal that it does. And then you hear Veronica Cartwright screaming. They had the same squeal, and I swear for a second you hear Veronica Cartwright. At least for a second. Until it blends into just trying to be their screams. Of course, like a crappy looking puppet. And then it kills the girl. And then the lady who they robbed come by. And she's like, oh, good titty, good titty. And she picks up the puppet. Looks down. The lady who's dead, her eyeball's supposed to be hanging out. But here's the thing. The other eye is like she's like, her other eye opens. Like in the scene. When you watch it, her other eye opens when she's supposed to be dead. Like, seriously? The shot only lasted 10 seconds and you couldn't keep your eyes shut for 10 seconds? You're telling me they shot all that and they didn't have a 10-second loop of her not opening her eyes. So they used the 10 seconds where she opens. Okay, imagine this is the eye, right? And this is the one with the eyeball. Just like. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just like. Are these people just lazy? Well, they are lazy. It's just stupid. Or play that off as a joke. Well, you're supposed to be dead. I got tired of being dead. I'm going home. Or have her no, I ain't dead. Just a flesh wound. And then she walks away with the eyeball. Like, something like that. Do that then. No, it's just a flesh wound, so fuck you. Fuck you pussies. Something like that you could have done. But no, instead they're just too stupid. So that story's over. Then it cuts to some woman talking to, I guess, a newscaster, about a Catnado, describing what a Catnado is. I swear to God, if Anne Ramsey had a daughter, it would be this girl. Anne Ramsey from Throw Mama from the Train and the Goonies. And if she had a daughter, it'd be this lady. Because she reminded me like a younger Anne Ramsey. Or slightly younger. Yeah, younger Anne Ramsey. But yeah, she's an eyewitness and describes how horrible it all was. So then the next story is this bearded redneck who hits a guy's truck and is a complete dick about it. And then a Catnado arrives. And then, like, as the Catnado is arriving, it'll show random shots of, like, a guy, I swear to God, with a cigarette in his mouth and a tarp. And he's like, you see him from far away, but, like, the camera's, like, trying to be down here, so it's, like, Oh no, it's From Below. Sorry, it's From Below. So like From Below, and the guy's like got the tarp, but you like he leans down, and you see a cigarette in his mouth. I'm like, well, thank God you're smoking your cigarette. I know you're in fear that this Catnado, just I may be scared, but I'm not gonna spit out my cigarette. This is my last pack. I ain't got no more. You'll take my cigarette from my cold dead fingers or my cold loose lips. Try to like put a tarp on him. It felt like a completely random bit that they just edited in there. So the redneck guy and the other guy get to this house, and they try to throw this story in where apparently the other guy is the brother of the bearded guy's wife who died. And supposedly the bearded guy had a kid. The kid was on drugs or something and was not supposed to be driving, but he did, and he died in a crash. And the bearded guy blamed this guy, his wife's brother. You threw him the keys, but the guy's like, no, I never did. My sister, aka your wife, did. And she felt guilty. Then she ended her life. I have a letter from her. I'll give it to you when we're done. But that doesn't matter because then this cheapo POV puppet comes in to get at the bearded guy. I don't even know if it's a puppet. It looked like just like a cheap Adobe animated paw doing this. And the guy's like, and then he just cuts on him, scratches on him. Supposedly there's cats in there. He lights it up, then you cut to, I don't know, a deleted scene from the Resident Evil video game where the mansion blows up. It cuts to a terrible effect where something blows up, and then the other guy, who's the bearded guy wife's brother, and his wife, like, hate cats, or something like that. Yeah, that guy died, and the whole thing about I'm going to give you the letter, that didn't end up doing anything, didn't matter. But yeah, oh well, we'll make a shitty joke and move on. Oh, by the way, during that bit, when those two are talking before the segment ends, like, I put 32 minutes, 17 seconds. It sounds like someone's rubbing a microphone. You know how when people have microphone, but they rub it, you that, and they didn't intend it. Like imagine this is the microphone right here, or like right here, but you actually like if I put my beard accidentally toward it, that's what it reminds me of. Like you hear that on the fucking soundtrack. This is not stuff they even did on purpose for the crappy movie. It's just they were so inept. They didn't realize, and just leave it in. Who cares? This is true. Like, who cares? They'll put anything in it. If I painted my dick to look like a cat, it probably would have been in this. Just film it. Send it. Okay. We approve. Then you have this one where it's just a guy in the basement with a flashlight doing this. And he sees two cats who talk to him. One talks like if... You know when Robin Williams was in Mork and Mindy, when he did his alien voice, he did that high-pitched, like that kind of higher-pitched alien voice. That's what one sounded, and the other sounded like... What did he sound like? I don't know, just goofy. Not quite Gomer Pyle, but getting closer. And they just talk about how much he sucks. And he talks about, no, God will protect me. It goes on forever, and then you hear the cats break in, and the guy's like, "No, God, you said you protect me." Maybe just God saw how shitty this was and said, "You're on your own, humanity. I had nothing to do with this." Then you have these two buddies who are attacked by this crappy looking toy, it's supposed to be a cat, with some bad, horrible digital blood effects. And then their goal is to hunt cats. But they literally shoot a kid to steal his water guns. Which then it's like, well, wait a minute, you have actual guns. So why the hell do you need water guns? And why are you murdering a kid to get the water guns? When I guarantee... But then they say they're Catnado chasers. They kill someone because they got a cat and says a sympathizer. At times they're driving, but you can tell they're in a parked car, and toys are being thrown at their car. One person says, "Get out! I'll be a diversion." The guy watches, but we don't see him. The guy drive away because it's too cheap for that. Then later the guy sees the other guy, and apparently he's a cat person. He just turns around, and you just see from behind, and he's got these little ears. I don't know, is he Batman? Okay, he's cat bitch. Then you have these two guys who are... That's the end of that segment. Who are looking for a cat thief. And pretty much they talked with a witness. They talked with a guy who's being weird and going, I'll serve your cat, and takes down the missing cat poster. These two cops, I don't know, Black and Blacker, I don't know who they are. There's two black guys. One just keeps saying cat puns, but he does them wrong. Like he says, that's a cat ostrophe. Or cat ostrophe. I think maybe that's how I say cat ostrophe. I'm like, you didn't even do that joke right, and the movie had already done that joke for you, dude. You could have stolen. Called Lethal Weapon 3. At the beginning, when they're trying to get the bomb disarmed, and a cat jumps up, almost a catastrophe. There you go! The joke's there for you, dude! Not cat ostrophe. Astrophe. Cat astrophe. What are you doing, dude? The joke's already there. Go watch Lethal Weapon 3. So they find this person who has a cat mask on, shoots her. Oh, she looks familiar. They turn, they see a Catnado, and they laugh about it. Can you believe this? And then that story ends. They have two flying a plane, but there's a gremlin cat on their plane, which is just a person trying to get into Cats the Musical. Because they're dressed up like a cat. An orange cat. Who's trying to... Like, they put a toy out the window, and the cat's getting it. And yeah, it looks horrible and terrible. It looks nothing remotely of decent production value. It's literally now it's not even cats anymore. It's just literally now cat people. Just cat people are in Catnados too. I mean, so give them drugged catnip, which didn't really work. It looks at them through the windshield, and the two are like, oh. And then it cuts to credits, thank God. And by the way, in this segment, all the actors suck, but there's a black guy who's flying it, and there's a white guy. The white guy, the passenger of that plane, is the worst actor in the movie. Because he's trying to act like he's in the birdcage. Like he's Nathan Lane from the birdcage. And doing a horrible job. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, dude. I don't know if this is offensive or just offensively bad on other. This film was absolute garbage on every front. It was boring. It was annoying. It was horribly acted. The effects are purposely horrible. The stories seem to go on random tangents. They're not even connective of, oh, it's a Catnado with cats, but then there's also, you could turn to a cat person, but also to be a cat gremlin that lands on your plane and do this. Or, oh, well, now we're just going to have a thief of cats who just wears a cat mask, but it's a regular person. I was waiting for a lot, a giant little cat just, imposed to, like, attack someone with really shittier effects. It's so... There's plenty of mistakes with microphones being rubbed, dead people opening their eyes, reflections in doors of the camera person. Oh my god. I know DarkMetalSpider likes the film. That's cool. At least I did see it, because I knew eventually someone would request me to see this. So now it's out there and done. Off the checklist, off the... And no one bites the dust, so to speak. But this is just... Again, it's sad that because it has this gimmick that will possibly get people to watch just because, I wonder how stupid this is. There's so many other, perhaps better scripts, better original ideas, better filmmakers. They don't get a chance to shine. But this film gets a DVD release. Hell, Murder by Phone, which is a film I talk about, that doesn't even have a DVD. Let alone a Blu-ray. With Richard Chamberlain. Underrated film. That doesn't even have a fucking DVD. Neither The Juggler or James Brown good film doesn't even have a DVD. But this film has a DVD. This has a DVD. With this said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.